Welcome back. This is the fifth lesson. This is the one we're about to run right over into fault prevention teacher training. Okay. There is a couple of things I want to mention before we start doing the first essential thing, which is showing you how to rearrange what we've learned into the sequence that is used in the Tai Chi Moving for Better Balance Fall Prevention Training. We took those pieces out and created a defense. Now we're going to put them back in to the original medical version, where you go from simple to complex. That's the way it's typically practiced. Before we just do the sequence, let me remind you that we had a couple of other things that we would do before we'd start the form training, the form practice. One of them was the trip fall, as you recall, where you trip and you recover, and you brush knee and you go over what you tripped on, okay? And you trip and you can't go this way, and you do the single whip, come back and remember, in single whip, fingers up and then back so you're not driving those into the wall, okay? And finally, and I hope you saw the footwork on this, let me get back and make sure it's clear. You're here, you're going over backwards. When you come around, you're like this, you step straight out, then you move both feet straight to the rear, okay? When they're both going straight back, then you can go down on this joint all the way and deal with whatever is coming, wind or whatever is coming over your back. But you have total stability, you have the strength of your shin bone into the ground, and that's what the unfortunate tree didn't have, and that's what caused it to go up by the roots. Okay. Now, the other thing that we worked on, if you just help me a moment, remember what I call the ghost hand? The ghost hand? What my title for that is appropriate. What we do in our training is we create a situation and we're going to go around this way. We're going to be the ghost. We're going to lead, right? Now, since we're going to go around, what this person is, they're very apt to just reach out. You know, they see us going and they reach out, right? And what we have to do is we have to contact this hand that's coming out without resistance. So we're not announcing that I'm here, you know, here I am. It comes out and we ghost. And then I didn't feel anything. They pull back and we ghost. And this keeps us from being stopped. If I didn't do that and I started around and I put resistance, that would stop me right here. And he would know exactly where I am. So the hand comes out, I ghost, and I go on by. Or, as I mentioned the other day, when the ghost hand comes out, I go by like that. I pull him or I go by, but I need to have no resistance in this. Okay? And you need practice because all our lives, people, when they feel something, they resist. So overcoming that automatic reflex is critical in our system of going around, okay? There's one more thing we need to cover, and I wanted to do it today because it is crucial, and I didn't want to get it mixed in with all the other things you're looking at. The one thing that will counter all of the things we're doing is one of the most common forms of training that young men and now young women are receiving. I received it in 1953 when I was in high school. Okay. It was going on before then, it's going on now, and what it is wrestling. Okay. A wrestler engages, and the first thing they do is drop down. They're going to drop down and grab. Now, if we're counting on leveraging and going under, and they're dropping down, our system isn't going to work. What we're going to have to do is not let them drop down, come in, and tackle us. Okay. Now, Scott Rogers, and there's others, he's particularly good, in the pressure point fighting systems, have ways of stopping a person's action so that the smaller individual will not be overwhelmed by the large and stronger one. Okay. Now, you and I both know that's on YouTube. The good guys are watching it, but so are the bad guys. And the bad guys hassle each other all the time, so they're probably practicing more than the good guys. So in a way, we have to be very careful when we're dealing with the pressure point things to make sure we know what it is that they're doing and where we would be vulnerable. We've escaped almost all of it by the fact that we don't wait until a person grabs before we act. And in a lot of pressure point things, that's what's happening. Somebody grabs, they have a way to get it off. They push, they do these various things, which works, but you're right in range. You've been grabbed, there's contact. Our whole system is to deflect, avoid contact, and escape. Okay? So we're one step ahead of all the people that want to sit back here and fight, that want to grab, that want to wrestle, and so forth. But we've got to get away from the guy that drops down and comes around. Okay. Now, I will show you what we're doing there. Okay. If you would come over to here, Chris. Now, well, let me face him the other way just for a second. Okay, like this. Okay. On our bodies, between the neck and the shoulder, there's a point midway. Same thing over here. Okay? These are points like the one I pointed out earlier when Christy had to turn around and stop something from coming. There is a point on the arm, okay? And there are points like this in various places on our body. I call them stop signs. The body has a place, if there's pressure, it won't let you go on into that because it'll damage you. Okay? Now, that's fortunately what we have. And really all you have to do is put your hand on your shoulder and put it in that position and press down. And what do you hit? Good Lord, you hit bones with cartilage and joints. That's a very fragile area. It's not one that you would want to charge in full force and hit with. You'd want to protect that, okay? And so there are these stop sign type pressure. Now, so what we're dealing with is a person who drops down. Now, when they get down, when they go all the way, when they go down to the ground level, sometimes they'll actually go down lower than that. Yeah. Here, okay. When they get to this point, okay, if I come down, I've got this whole bone in. If I come down here, okay, it freezes them, and I push back, and they can't go forward. Okay, so they go down. I freeze them here. I push back, and they're stuck, and I can get around. Okay. Does that make sense? So we use the pressure point here, okay? Now I can go back, but he can't go forward. And I can get out of that track. We've got to be able to do that, okay? Okay. We're going to go on into the sequence. We've done these things before. What we haven't done is the actual sequence used in the fall prevention class. And that's what we'll do now. It starts with the simplest and goes on forward, okay? Now, I have a system that will help you remember what comes next. And that's very important because in many cases, people go to a Tai Chi class and they just watch the teacher. And when the teacher does something, then they'll do it. And the teacher does the next one, and they'll do it, okay? Let me, the first thing I ever wrote was inspired by Angelina Valdez, a Native American diabetes educator. And she wrote, "We are a flock of birds." And you'll see my point. We are a flock of birds, not swimmers synchronized. We turn as one across the sky, but each bone finds the best path for itself. The balanced muscles hold the joints on course, and although it all looks effortless, it lifts the spirit, calms the blood, and helps us land the other side of fear, anxiety, and pain. We're a flock of birds, all heading into separate lives, but for the moment we are one, and still ourselves, a balance, some call happiness. We simply call it times together in the sky. You see, we are a flock of birds. And this is extremely rare, especially in Western culture, in which once you get dancing going, once you get things going, they synchronize. Okay, there's a leader and they're synchronizing, and that's the skill level that we're looking for. Well, we're not looking for synchronization in Tai Chi. We're looking for internal balance. We're synchronizing internally, not with people outside. So, in order to do that, an individual needs to know what comes next. And I have a simple way to handle that. And everybody knows 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay? When you're at 5, you know 6 comes next. You don't have to look up and see what a teacher does. And there's no logical progression, between single whip or hold the ball or waving hands. I mean, there's no way to know why one would come after the other. But I put the numbers on there, and the numbers resemble what we're doing, and that lets us, everyone know what comes next. And when you're doing it independently, you can focus inside. You're not going to unconsciously synchronize with someone else, okay? Let's take a look at where it starts, okay? It starts and we're standing and we're relaxed and we're standing upright. Think of you're being suspended by a thread from the heavens. So we're standing up straight. We're not in this fashion, okay? Because from up here we can turn in any direction, okay? Move any direction. Once we get down to here, for one thing, we're a larger target. And when we move slower and in a more discernible way. Up here, I turn instantly, okay? So, the way the form starts, you're here, you're on balance, okay? And the first thing you do is you come over to what we call hold the ball. And we've done that, right? We have this handout here. I think I call it hold the ball. On here, I preload. I come over to the other side. Preload. Now, I've mentioned in the past that whenever you step sideways, you lift the foot because you could be tripping over something. Okay. So we're here. Preload. Come over to here. Preload. Okay. Now the first thing I'm going to go into when I get back to this position is parting the wild horses, remember? I step out here and this rises up. Here I hold, preload, and come up to here. Now, I don't think it takes much imagination to realize that this is a number 1. That's a 0, that's a 0, that's a 0. And this is a number 1 simply leaned over, okay? Now, that being number 1, okay, we've come to number 2, right? Now, a number 2 is essentially that, huh? And if you take a number 2, and here's the bottom of it, and you lay it over like that, and then you come over to here, and here's the bottom, and you lay it over like that, you have single whip, which is our second thing, okay? So I'm here, I've done number 1. Now, preload, I call it a counterbalance, but it's the bottom of the 2, and I step this way. I come to here, preload, and I come back to there. And there's my number 2. What's next? 3. And 3 is waving hands like clowns. And there's 3 of them, fortunately. 2, 3. Okay. Now the one thing in waving hands is that in the first one, you're supposed to look at your hand, okay? In the second one, you're supposed to look out at the room. Now the hands are going over each other. I'm not. What I used to do is bring a broomstick to class so that people could get used to keeping them over. If you look at the dynamics, that is a very strong thing. That is not very strong. So this protects down here, and this, okay? Look at the hand, look at the room, the hand, okay? That's 3. And it's 3. Okay. We finished that one. And next is 4. The term is repulse monkey. Wonderful. Now I'm here. Here comes a monkey, supposedly. I put the hand out to keep him away. I step back and get on balance. The monkey comes over to here, and I step back and get on balance. Now if you notice, I've gone like this and like that. And that is the front side of the number 4. 3, and then 4, okay? Now, when I finish the 4, what comes next? 5, okay? So I preload, and brush knee comes like this, right? And here, and here. And if you look at that, what you have is the bottom of the 5 and then the side. The bottom of the 5 and then the side. So as soon as you see the resemblance, here's a 4, here's a 5, you begin to think, well, here comes 6. Why not? And 6 really looks like a 6 because Our Lady, our maiden works the shuttle, she's going to come like that. Is that a 6 or not? Here, and then 6, okay? could it be simpler? So there's the 6, number 7, grasping the peacock's tail. We reach out, we come back, we put the hand on the forearm, and that's a 7, right? 7. We come back to here, we create a 7 in the air, here, like that. So we have a 7, we have a 7, okay? And then we go off the other direction, 7, 7, okay? So 0 through 7 covers all of the forms in the sequence that they're used, okay? Now, there's 2 ways to end it. I mean, you can come over to here, and out here, and down, just end it. We have a story that we use, and in that story, we balance like that, because that's the end of the storyline. We'll get into the story. Well, it's called the Bear Rescue Story. It's amazing. It's a story that we've used in that class since 2008, every Tuesday and Thursday, and the people that do it love it, and they look forward to it. It doesn't get old. They rescue a baby bear. They protect the bears from poachers. They fend off the poachers. They're heroes every morning, every Tuesday and Thursday morning. They've done something heroic and they all feel good about it. So we'll definitely get into the bear rescue story. Okay. Well, let's start with my training partner. This is the guy I've trained in the personal safety stuff. So now we take on the sequence, okay? So we're here, we're relaxed, and we step over to here, okay? Preload, and we step back over. Preload, and we step back over. Okay, now remember number 1, I come up like this, okay? Hold, preload, and I come up like that. Hold, preload, right? Number 2, I have the counterbalance, but here's number 2 just laid right over like that. Okay? Hold, preload, and it comes over like that. Okay? Hold, preload, and number 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, hold, preload. Remember 4, it just comes like that. We hold the monkey, we step back and get on balance. We hold the monkey, we step back and get on balance. That's the 4. The 5, here's the bottom of the 5, and we push, hold, preload. Bottom of the 5 and push, hold, preload. Here comes the 6. It looks just like a 6. We sweep right up into the 6, hold, preload. Sweep right up into the 6, hold, preload. We fend off, we come back, we make our 7, and we push it out. We come back and make one in the air and lift, hold, preload. Fend off, come back, pivot and push, hold and lift. We swing around, recover, or do it's called the Crane Kingdom salute. And I'll get that into the story with you, okay? So, that's the sequence with a number system so that you can remember it and do it on your own and while you're in a class and you're doing it, with that, you always know what's coming next. So you focus internally on your own balance, your own breathing, okay? And so you get the health benefits and the balance benefits. And that's what we came here to do today. And I believe with what we just did, you should be able to go through that process and have a shot at it yourself. Okay, what are we? Okay, we can run through it again so you can see it. Okay, so we're here. Okay. Yeah, why don't you just come right up here and we'll do it. Okay. We're here. Okay. I'm up, I'm relaxed, I'm focused. I step to here and balance. Okay, preload. I step over to here, balance, preload, step back. This hand sweeps up into a number 1, hold, preload. Sweep up into a number 1, hold, preload. Number 2 comes right over, hold, preload. Number 2 comes right over, hold, preload. Number 3 is a 3. 1, look at the hand. 2, look out at the room. And 3, look back at the hand. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Repulse monkey. Number 4, we step back. Now I always look down because I want to see what I'm stepping on. Okay. Hold, preload. I don't think we hold, we just go back to here. Okay, that's 4. Now, the bottom of 5 goes here. Hold, preload. Bottom of 5 goes here. Hold, preload. Here's our 6, and we sweep right up into it. Hold, preload. Here's our 6, we sweep right up into it. Hold, preload. We reach out, come back, pivot and push here. There's a 7, and here's another in the air right there. Okay. Come around, fend off, come back. 7 in the air. There we are. Okay. We can come around to here and relax, or we can do the Praying Kingdom salute with the story, and I'll get that to you next time. Okay. So there's the form. The things that I'd like for you to work on in the meantime, be sure that if you see them dropping, you stop, you freeze and back out, because you do not want someone down there tapping. Okay? Thank you, and we'll continue with the standard Tai Chi moving for better balance form, and I'll begin bringing more and more health effects for you and your